Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session with WGU's Career and Professional Development. My name is Hank. I am an Employee Engagement Manager on our Employee Engagement team here at WGU. Today, we have the Adecco Group joining us for a session to talk about the Military Alliance Program and share information about careers and opportunities within their company. Just a few housekeeping items to go over. This session will be recorded. You will receive information along with a few links to some additional resources that they do provide that you'll be able to review at your own time. Also, if you have any questions, we will have a Q&A session at the end of this session. So please save your questions to the end, or if you would like, you could drop those questions into the chat and we will answer those questions as well. Without further ado, I'll pass it over to the Adecco team, and Rochelle, the mic is yours.
Thanks, Anthony. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure to talk to military-connected students. And first thing that we want to say is thank you for your service. Whether you're joining us as a veteran student or a military spouse student today, we're so happy to be with you. And I am thrilled to tell you that myself and several of the colleagues that you'll be hearing from today come straight from the military community. Some of us are spouses, some of us are veterans, some of us are military kids, and one of us is all three. But I won't steal her thunder. I'll let her introduce herself when she gets to her section. So what we want to do today in our time together is talk to you a little bit about the Military Alliance program here at the Adecco Group. I'm going to cover that. And then I'm going to turn it over to three of my colleagues who are here today to talk to you a little bit about the specific brands or business units that they represent under the Adecco Group family of brands. We operate as three main brands here in the US and around the world, and they're going to talk to you about job opportunities that are very specific to their brand. First of all, my name is Rochelle Chapman, and I am a very proud veteran military spouse. I also am very proud to say I'm getting ready to celebrate my 20th anniversary with the Adecco Group. For those of you that are joining today and are military spouses, you know that working for the same company for 20 years is a little bit of a feat as a military spouse. And so I'm always so proud to share that fact because I do think that it highlights or underscores the Adecco Group's commitment. And I'm just one colleague. There are many like me. Really underscores our commitment to the military community is in terms of being a military-friendly employer and a really great place to work for the military community. And so we're going to brag a little bit about some of the ways that we do that. And then, like I said, I'll turn it over to some of my colleagues that are here today. So when I say the Military Alliance program, what I mean by that is really everything we do to impact the military community. And the things that we do to impact you all or improve your lives are one of three things. The first pillar is employment. So the Military Alliance represents everything we do to actively recruit military-connected talent. And you're going to hear from a couple of colleagues, one whose sole job it is to do that for his brand. And we have been in this space of recruiting and hiring and retaining military-connected talent for 23 years. And we actually started as a military spouse-friendly employer, working directly with the Department of Navy to help military spouses find work 23 years ago. So we've been at this for a while, you all. This is not a bandwagon that we just recently jumped on. I always kind of say, or I think it's funny, that we helped nail the wheels to that bandwagon because we were doing this really at a time that not a lot of other companies were. And so that is something that also makes me proud, especially representing the military spouse community. Meeting with all of you is a great opportunity for us to do outreach to the military community. We also do that through our connection to the military bases and Wounded Warrior Project and the VA. A lot of different military partnerships and partners that we lean on around the country to find you. And so my hope is after today that you'll understand our business a little bit better. You'll certainly understand the value that we feel like you bring to us and also to the clients that we're hiring for. The second thing that we really do underneath the Military Alliance program to really influence and impact and improve your life is around education. I have the pleasure of actually working in the foundation. That's our not-for-profit arm of our business. And so I get a nice budget to be able to create programming that specifically benefits the military community. And I've created several programs over the last 6 years, specifically around upskilling and upskilling and reskilling in IT and tech. Created a program last year for military spouses, specifically those interested in becoming medical billers and coders. And so really proud of the work that we've done and the return on investment that we've made. And you'll see an example in just a second of some of the really great work that we are doing to upskill and reskill you all. And then the last pillar, if you will, under the Military Alliance program is engage. And that represents everything that we do as an organization to give back to the military community. Some of those things are really small, heartfelt gestures. I'll share one in just a second. And others are things that we do to give our time and also our dollars, our time, talent, and treasure back to the military community. So again, we'll talk in just a second about what that actually looks like. So here's an example of a veteran and military spouse. She's both. April, lovely, smart, super capable, hardworking mom of 3 kiddos out in Florida, who earned our data science scholarship last year. This is a scholarship program that we run every March. And so this may be an opportunity that may interest you for next year. And if so, we'd love for you to apply. We gave April essentially a $5,000 scholarship to take a course at our tech education company, General Assembly. I don't know how many of you have heard of General Assembly, but we own that company. We gave her $5,000 and she turned it into, you can see on the screen there, a $40,000 increase in salary increase. So she was employed. She got a $40,000 increase and a $5,000 increase in stock options, which is just really incredible. So proud of the work that she was able to accomplish through just that one scholarship.
Sorry, we can't see your screen. We're seeing the first slide. If you're able to put it in presentation mode.
So it is in presentation mode, Anthony, on my end.
Rochelle, do you want me to share my screen and see if I can do the slides for you?
Sure, please do.
Okay.
I do this like every other day on Teams and Zoom, and maybe I just don't know WebEx.
No guarantees that this will work, but we will give it a shot. Let's see if I can share my screen here.
And I don't think I sent you the updated slides, Corey, but we can always make sure that they have the updated slides. And the slides are so pretty, so I'm so sorry y'all couldn't see it that whole time. I was just going on and on and on.
Oh, that's no worries. I mean, I can include those in the follow-up with the review as well.
Okay. This is what I have. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
And y'all couldn't see that when I was doing it. Okay, interesting. So if you want to go to the next slide, Corey.
Let me try to, okay. Right there?
Yep, that was April. That was the veteran and military spouse that I was just talking about. This program, actually, when WGU reached out to me, they reached out to me specifically to talk to you all about this program, which may or may not be beneficial to some of you that are in attendance. It may not be beneficial to you, but it very well may be for a family member or somebody that you know. This is a career transition and development program that I created this year for the veteran military spouse. So this is for the military spouse whose service member is no longer on active duty. They have put their career on hold, or maybe have been underemployed or unemployed for the past 5, 10, 15, however many years they served in the military. And now they are ready to reclaim their career. And we are helping veteran military spouses just do that. We launched our first cohort earlier this year with really amazing results. I'm very, very proud of this program. Very much inspired by my own experience as a professional military spouse, but also by the thousands of spouses that I've coached and worked with over the years. So if many of you are obviously kind of in this mindset of it's your turn too, right? You're going back to school, you're earning your degree. If you'd like to do that in tandem with a career development program that helps you kind of go through career exploration and really get you ready for the job market, then I want to encourage you to reach out to me for more information or go to our website, which I'll put in the chat later. Applications for our next cohort launch in August. So this is very timely. So again, if you're interested in participating in that, or you know somebody who is, please connect with me or share it later. Next slide, please. And this is just a small, cute story. I love this initiative. We run this every year. If you go back to the idea earlier that I shared around the 3 pillars of the Military Alliance Program, and the third one being engage, this is an example of how we engage or give back to the military community. One branch manager 14 years ago had a really small idea to adopt her local military base and send Valentine's Day cards to deployed service members. We took that small idea and blew it up and said, this is a really amazing national initiative that we can run across all of our brands around the US. And this year, we delivered over 12,000 Valentine's Day cards to service members deployed around the world. And let me tell you something. I know it sounds like a really small thing, but one, our colleagues love it. Our recipients love it. And our friends and family get involved. You see examples there of cute cards that kids and grandmas alike have spent time creating at the beginning of the year. So anyway, I had to share that because I think it's fun. Next slide, please. All right, back to the business of employment. So I mentioned earlier that this is our that as the Adecco Group, as the parent company, we operate in the U.S. under 3 main brands: Adecco, LHH, and Acotis. We are a workforce solutions organization, and that maybe sounds like gobbledygook to some of you that don't know what that means. Sometimes we say human capital. I don't think that's any better, but we work with amazing companies all around the U.S. and around the world, and they are looking for amazing talent every day. And we know that veterans, military spouses, active duty service members, and the Guard or the Reserve make exceptional employees. So every day we seek to find you and connect you to big companies and small companies that we work with across our brands. So what I'd like to do now, my first colleague, for the sake of time, I put him up first because he's got to run to the airport to pick up an Army buddy who's visiting him, is Corey Elder. Corey, if you'll advance to the next slide and then just introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about Adecco.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Rochelle. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for having us today. I'm Corey Elder. I run the military search for Adecco for the U.S. I am a 20-year Army veteran, and I have been with Adecco for 3 years now. So Adecco, as an overview, I would say, our biggest thing, we have 2 sides of Adecco. We have our direct hire and we have our temp workers. I've seen it firsthand in 3 years. We've put veterans, military spouses on the temp side and direct hire side. It really just depends on what that veteran or military spouse needs are. When we talk about Adecco, people always say, well, what kind of jobs do you have? And they always think, it's hourly, low paying jobs that we have because people aren't really sure what exactly we do. So let me put it this way. I have placed retired lieutenant colonels from the Marine Corps, from different branches. I have placed, your E4s that are just getting out. So we have a job for everybody, I would like to say. Do we place every single veteran we speak to? We don't. It just depends on what they're looking for, right? But we're in every single market. We have clients like Google, Pepsi, Ross, Peabody Energy, T-Force Freight. So we have a wide variety of positions where we can place you. If you're looking for an engineering role, you're looking for HR, sales, anything manufacturing, those are the type of roles that we can definitely connect you with. Also, I forgot to mention our MedSci for all of our medical people on here. We also do, LPNs, everything medical side. We have a whole team designated in search that does everything medical. And this slide's not up to date. That's not my email. Just take out the E for Corey, and that's my email. But if you have any questions on what type of jobs are available through Adecco in your local area, or where you're going to be PCSing to, if you're a military spouse, please reach out, get with me. I'll let you know what we have in that area. If we don't have anything in that area, we can certainly help try find you something. The last thing we want to do is see a veteran or a military spouse making the move and not have something lined up. So we do our best to accommodate everybody. And that is it. Cannot hear you.
Slide. All right, moving over to Acotis, our IT and engineering brand, and to my friend and colleague, Jasmine Wright.
Hey guys, how are you? So a little bit about me. I think Rochelle kind of mentioned I hit all three of the pillars of that we try to touch. So I am a veteran. I am a former military spouse, and I also was a military child and raised military children. So I am lucky to say that we all survived and did well, and I'm here to speak about it. Also, WGU is kind of warm and near and dear to my heart. My husband got his master's degree from there while he was still teaching and head coaching tennis. So, and now he's an administrator at the high school level. So there's a little bit of purple in our lives as well. So for me and about what we do, so Acotis, we are an engineering and IT services company, and that, as Rochelle put, probably means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But this is what we do. We help place people in roles specifically in IT and engineering areas with a variety gamut of companies. So we cover from retail to aerospace, banking and financial, to energy to automotive. So we all kind of work within the same company sometimes. So whether it's a Google or an Amazon, whether it's a hospital or Firefly technologies or things like that, we help staff those areas, both permanently placed in projects and contracts and managed services. Next slide. So if you are moving around, if you are needing things, I know a lot of people look to IT because they are like, oh, it might be remote, or oh, these things. We are shifting back to a hybrid environment as well. So we want to make sure that if we can help you, we connect you with the right market to do the right things. But this is just a list of some of the things that we do. And you don't have to have a degree necessarily in these areas or anything like that. We love project managers, project coordinators, people who service in desktop support. I always say you won't really know somebody until their internet's bad. And then you see the true them that comes out. And so if you have been the troubleshooter through all your PCSs of making sure that the DirecTV and the Wi-Fi and everything goes on, you might have a stronger skill set than you think. Next slide. One more. I think I got one more after this. Do I? There you go. These are just a list of some of the companies, of the big companies that we use, but also think of your small and medium businesses that are all around you. So whether it is the grocery store, your favorite takeout place, the app that you use the most, We are there, and some of these companies are paired with them, from Microsoft to Hitachi, from General Motors to GE. Things that you use every single day have some that touch your life, are places that you may find that you can be employed and that we can help you in those inroads there. Next slide. All right. So the really cool thing about us is a CODIS Academy. So you're like, I've done all this schooling and I'm here and I'm ready. And the thing that our brand brings is that we can upskill you directly into what the next thing that you're looking for. So whether it's generative AI, because you hear that it's a great buzzword, or that you want to be able to get your PMP so that you can be a certified project manager, we have the ability to put you on the pathways to get the certifications to do that. We have our own solutions and consulting programs that are in here, and we partner with major things like Salesforce, Microsoft, things like that. We also have the ability to upskill your soft skills as well. Interviewing is hard and it can be scary. And so we have the opportunity to have some of our great delivery specialists work with you through that process and get you prepared for you to put your best foot forward when you speak with someone. Next slide. That's my information. If you guys need anything from me, you'll get these slides, but you can jot that down. All of it's correct, and I will drop my LinkedIn here in the chat here shortly. But Rochelle, I'll let you take it away to the next BU.
Thanks, Jasmine, so much. Jose, I highly encourage you to connect with Jasmine after today's presentation. She is going to put her LinkedIn information in the chat. Also, her email address will be sent to you after this call as well, just as an FYI. Okay. Last but certainly not least, my dear friend out in Phoenix, Kelsey, is here today representing our professional recruitment division, Lee Hecht Harrison, or LHH. Kelsey, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. Like she said, I'm Kelsey. I've been with LHH for a little over 6 years and work closely with you to deploy our military candidates in Arizona. Next slide, please. So this is an overview of LHH and the umbrellas that sit under LHH. We have recruitment solutions, which offers executive search, interim positions, permanent roles, contract roles, and then an RPO model. Leadership development and coaching, which is Ezra, where we offer leadership training for employees that are already at a company. Also assessments to get personality assessments to better align individuals with the company's goals. Upskilling and reskilling, which is general assembly. And then career transition and mobility, which is our outplacement leg of the company. Next slide, please. So we operate in 60 countries and have around 12,000 employees total under the LHH brand. 30,000 are dedicated to recruiting. We do about 60,000 placements a year, from anything from entry level up to executive level roles. Again, temporary or permanent positions. These are a few of the clients that we work with. So Netflix, McDonald's, Samsung, Google, Microsoft. We do work all across the US, and then on the next slide you'll see we're global as well. So we are in 29 markets globally. We can offer permanent placements, temporary staffing, executive search and interim management, again, the assessments, and then a managed recruitment experience where we manage all or part of a company's recruiting process. Our practice areas are accounting and finance, banking and financial services, customer service and support, healthcare and life sciences, HR, innovation and strategy, IT and digital, legal, procurement and supply chain, and sales and marketing. So if you have a background in any of those areas, we would definitely want to speak with you and be able to help you out.
Next slide.
So if you have any questions, there's my contact information. And I'll pass it back to you.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Mhm.
So guys, one of the things before we open it up to Q&A, one of the things that I want to talk about just for a second, well, two things. One, you may have heard a little bit of an overlap between some of what LHH's practice areas are and ACODIS, what Jasmine spoke to. So Kelsey talked a little bit about LHH having a focus in IT. They do, and they have some roles that ACODIS might not have. So if there are some people in the chat saying that you are looking for an IT opportunity, depending on what that is, it may behoove you to reach out to Jasmine and to reach out to Kelsey, who can help get you to an IT recruiter over at LHH. I just want to point out that ACODIS's bread and butter, everything they do is around IT and engineering. So they really are the expert in this space. But within our business units, we do have some overlap. Which is kind of nice, especially depending on the market that you're living in. So I want to turn your attention back over to the slides, because I think this is something that's worth talking about when I talk to military community about the benefits of working temp. And I think Corey sort of alluded to this when he first started speaking. I think sometimes we overlook the value of a temp job. And quite frankly, you all, I can't think of a better example of somebody to take a temp job than somebody that's going to school right now. You're all getting your degree. You're all probably in different phases of your academic journey, but if you're going to school at night and you are looking for, a side hustle, a second income, an opportunity to maybe even practice what you're learning actually in a job, a temp role might be the perfect opportunity for you to do that. It's also a really good opportunity for you to kind of try before you buy into a company's culture, and vice versa. It's a great opportunity for them to kind of try you out on for size as well. So if you're here today thinking, hey, this isn't the worst idea ever, even if you're getting paid right now to go to school, why not double down and come to work for us while you're going to school? And if you are getting ready to graduate, or maybe you just recently did graduate, great. We've got a stack of full-time recruiters that all they do is help put folks to work in permanent roles at organizations. Again, companies hire us to find really great talent, and that's our job. So the point is, there are a lot of ways that you may be able to work with one of our business units at the Adecco Group. But certainly wanted to point out some of the value of working in a temp role. Next slide, Corey. This is really kind of speaks to the value of working with a recruiter. I mean, those of you that have served, or maybe you're just now getting out of the military, you all were forced to work with a military recruiter at some point in your life. Corey Elder called you at some point and said, hey, we got to figure out where you're going next, right? A little bit of a negotiation, hopefully. If you're lucky, you got one of your top 3 picks. Corey had access to jobs in the military, and he has the same access to maybe hidden jobs that you may not know of now. So one of the big values of working with a recruiter, whether you guys work with us or you work with another staffing company, is having access to what we often refer to as the hidden job market. The number of jobs that never get posted on a company's website would blow your mind. And they don't do that because they work with companies like us. So we have access to those jobs that never get posted. We get you into the company that way. Leverage our network. You all, I'm sure, have been taught or talked to about the importance of leveraging your own network. Great reason to work with a recruiter is we have a very, very, very strong, very robust network, especially in the areas that we have maybe a niche expertise in, and especially from a geography standpoint. So just want to highlight the value of working with a recruiter as well. Okay, next slide, please.
Rochelle, can I add something to that?
Please do so, yes.
Yeah. So everybody thinks working with a recruiter can slow the process down, but it actually does the complete opposite, right? When you apply for a job on Indeed or something, your resume goes into a database with those other 600 click applies, right? So now the hiring manager for that specific job at that company has 600 and something resumes they have to look through. The chance of them finding yours and picking you out is very slim, right? What the recruiters get to do is we get to take your resume, highlight your achievements, and send it directly to the hiring manager's email, right? So now those 600 and some people are over in one pile and you're by yourself in another. So you actually get pushed to the front of the line.
Excellent point, Corey. Oh my gosh, that's so well said. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, good point. Next slide, please. Oh, tips for working with a recruiter. A couple things I just want to highlight here, and Kelsey and Jasmine and Corey, you guys do this every day, so please feel free to add to this. I will say one mistake that a lot of, and I wouldn't say just veterans or spouses make, I think job seekers in general make. If I had $1 for every time somebody said to me, I'm willing to do anything, I just need a job. And I just want to shake them. I know that you all think that you are communicating flexibility and, I can do anything. I'm interested in anything, but you are reeking of desperation. And I say that with absolute love. You've got to do the work to figure out exactly what you want to do. If you have a target list of clients or companies that you've always wanted to work with, even better. Like that is great for a recruiter. But coming to a recruiter without a lot of direction in terms of what you want to do professionally, it makes our job really hard. And two, it's just, you need to work with a career coach, before you work with a recruiter. If you're still like, I don't know, I'm pursuing this degree here at WGU, I don't really know exactly what I want to do. Maybe work with a career coach or with the team at WGU at the Career Center before you interact with a recruiter. Do that work first. Otherwise, know your goals. The other sometimes mishap, I think, or trap that we fall into when working with a recruiter is our expectation is once I meet a recruiter, they're just going to be my little my agent, and they're going to go around and they're going to shop my resume around and then hands off and I don't have to do anything else. Oh, no. Contraire, mon frère. You need to follow up with your recruiter. You need to check in with your recruiter. You need to say, hey, I'm still open for work. Where else? I found another role that I'm interested in, or I just found this company that's out. Keep the lines of communication open with anybody that you are working with one-on-one to find a job. It does you a massive disservice if you just set it and forget it with a recruiter. Don't fall into that trap or have that mindset. You guys know, someone has told you somewhere along the way, finding a job is like a full-time job. If you're not working at it like a full-time job, then you're doing something wrong. We want you to be effective. That doesn't mean apply to 100 jobs, because that's another trap we get into. We said, but I applied for 100 jobs and I don't get any hits. It goes back to the importance of working with a recruiter. That's not necessarily effective or efficient. But so keep the lines of communication open with us. You guys, what would you add to that, Corey or Kelsey or Jasmine?
I think what I'd add is this, and it's something that I use a lot when I talk about when we're talking to clients, is that we're dating each other. When you're looking for a job, you're dating that company. And you wouldn't go on 100 first dates and expect to hop in your most strong relationship. You wouldn't do those types of things. So it is work on that side, and understanding that when you're working with a recruiter, they want to help you to the best of their ability, but you have to be clear in what you need and what you want. And then you have to be open to where the market is. Listen to that recruiter and what they're telling you, because we can't blatantly tell you things sometimes, but we can give you your left and right limits. And that's hugely important coming from the type of environment that we came from. Is here's your left limit, here's your right limit, and the truth is somewhere in the middle and how you're going to work. So make sure that you're having those conversations and that you're doing those things with your recruiter, and make sure that you're following up. You're not their only candidate that they're working with, and probably that's not the only client that they're working with. For me, at any given point, I probably have 200 resumes that are hitting my inbox. And I work primarily with clients, but it's still people reaching out and me trying to get them to the right places and doing the right things. So just be open to that and be open to staying close and building that relationship. You never know when something's going to come up, especially in this day and age. If you don't live by anything else, your network is your net worth. So make sure you keep building those relationships.
You know, I love that saying. Next slide, Corey. I think that's our wrap-up slide. You all, first of all, two things. I want to say thank you to all of you for being here today. We're not going anywhere. We're going to turn it over to Q&A, but I just also want to thank Corey and Kelsey and Jasmine for voting with your time and being with these students today. What I'd like to do is open it up to Q&A. I really want to treat this next 20 minutes as kind of very consultative rather than facilitation. We've talked a lot at you. Feel free to come off mute or type into the chat very specific questions that you have for yourself, for your own career. I already see a lot of great things happening in the chat, but you've got 3 experts here. So this is a special time for you to bend their ear. Don't be shy. This is this is amazing. So take advantage of it. Start asking away. Who's first?
I'll break the ice. Rochelle, I had one thing to add about the second to last slide about the relationship with the recruiter, right? One of the most important things that I stress to every, military connected person I speak with is be realistic in your job search, right? I speak to a lot of veterans, military spouses. They all want over $100,000. They want to work from home. And they don't have the necessary certificates or skills to do that, right? So just be realistic with what you're looking for, and don't take what the recruiters tell you as an insult or anything, right? Our job isn't just to place you, it's to guide you through your career, right? So we are going to give you the most realistic advice that you could get, right? And it might sting a little bit, but we're there honestly for your best interest.
Thanks, Corey, so much for that. Jasmine, I'm going to refer this question to you. Tayana says, I'm interested in IT because I'm pursuing a degree in software engineering. Are there any temporals for people who do not have much experience in that field?
There are definitely contract roles that get you an entry-level software dev or software engineering. I would need more specifics of what it is that you're looking for and things like that. But yes, there's definitely opportunities that are out there. And I think it asks if they're hiring in other countries. Yes, we do work with in over 70 countries that we can work with. Need more detail on where you're going to go, if you're going to be permanent residents or if you just be working abroad on a nomad visa or things like that, on a digital nomad. But yes, to that question, we can tie you into what would be best. And I encourage everybody, and it'll be in the slide deck too, to hit all of our websites. Go to acodus.com, go to lhh.com, go to adecco.com, look at what we have open. We are posting roles all day, every day. New things come up. So make sure you're there and you set up your alerts properly.
Chris, I just saw your comment in the chat. That's so cool. We're so happy to welcome you back to Adecco, and I hope that Corey is able to help you. And if not, I want to encourage you to reach out to me. I don't know if you're wanting to, like, what you're exactly looking for. Actually, Chris, if you want to come off mute, I'm so putting you on the spot, but a 23-year Navy veteran is not intimidated by talking. I know that for sure. Wait, is he still here or did he leave? He might have left. Chris, if you're still here, I'd love to learn a little bit more about the type of work you're assuming what kind of work are you looking for today?
So, yes, good day to everybody. My name is Chris Reed, and like I said, I'm not sure. Are you guys, can you guys hear me?
Perfectly, yes.
Yes. So, about 23 years ago, well, let's call it 26 years ago, I I did an interview with Adecco for a RF position. That's radio frequency technician with Motorola at the time. And I got the job, and it was just beautiful working. The people that I was working with at Adecco. They were very, very professional. And within, I don't want to say it was 3 months, but I know there was some three in there. I just, I was hired as a temp, and within about 3 months, I think I was made permanent at Motorola. And my my family, they're from New York, and so at the time I was living in Florida by myself, a 19-year-old, uh, and they wanted me back in New York. So I got back to New York and I just joined the military. So um, yeah, it was a great experience, and I think the company, when I saw the advertisement on WGU, because that's where I'm attending right now, I jumped at it because of the my previous experience. So yeah, it's great. I did 23 years with the military. I retired last year. I decided to come home and stay home with the kids for a year, and I think I'm ready to go back because I
Ready.
I got I got a lot of time on my hand right now, to be honest. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what's out there. I'm the program I'm in with WGU is the cybersecurity program with information assurance. That's the master's program. I did a bachelor's with Strayer in computer science, so I'm kind of in that field. But I am not a picky individual. If you say, "Hey, let's do this," I am ready for it. So, anyways, that's just of my story.
Yeah.
But
So
thank
I
you,
love that
Liza.
you had a good experience working with Adecco. Thank you so much for your service. Sounds like, Chris, you need to work with WGU, the Career Center, a little bit and framing up like in your mind, but also being able to explain exactly kind of what you're looking for. Like I so understand your why, and we could, leverage your power skills all day long. But really having a good solid understanding of what you want to do within the field that you're studying would really go a long way. So I definitely want to encourage you to do that. I do hope that you will reach back out to us because we certainly would love to work with you again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.
Very, very cool. There's a question in the chat from Nate saying that Nate is available to start working in February of 2026. When kind of this is a really great question. When is the appropriate time to actually connect with a recruiter if you're not getting out of the military for a while? So I would say, Nate, it's not now. Now is probably too soon. But I want to, Jasmine, are you still on the line or did you have
I
finished?
am.
What
I'm
would you say,
here.
Nate,
I
about?
replied to him and I said starting at 6 months out.
Okay.
There can be roles that open for that time frame based on different like fiscal year starts. So some people's fiscal year starts September 1st, October 1st, some are calendar year January, and then a lot of large corporations are February 1st fiscal year starts. So we are already starting to talk about what their needs are in late Q3, early Q4. So 6 months out, starting about mid to late August, you can begin to start having those conversations with recruiters about what's coming available in the area that you're looking for, or projects that you are projects based off of what you've got going on. Because people are planning their security bandwidth and planning their IT projects already for the following year. So if we can have you in the mix for that, and also coming off of Christmas time and things like that, we'd like to secure those roles before the end of the year. So sometimes you might not have until an early or mid-February start, but we secured your role before Christmas break so that there was no holdup with the new fiscal years turning and things like that. So that would be my suggestion.
Good suggestion, Jasmine. And Talis, unfortunately, we have kind of paused our internship program, so we do not host interns at any of the brands across the Adecco Group in the U.S. We really have put more of our focus and attention on creating an upskilling and reskilling programs for the military connected community, but not so much in like an internship or traditional internship model. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the question, though. It's a good one. So I'm looking at the clock. We have about 9 minutes or so left. What other questions? It's a small group, so happy to, don't be afraid to come off mute and talk about your specific need or kind of where you are. We're happy to meet you where you are and help you as best we can.
Yes.
Ms. Rachel, can you hear me?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes.
How is everybody doing? I am very glad that everybody took the time to take care of everyone, because everyone is definitely trying to make the best chess pieces in their career to try to move forward. And I appreciate your time, first off. One thing I wanted, it's been about 8 years that I retired from the Air Force. I did 20 years from 1997 to 2017. And after retiring, pretty much myself and my family were homeless because we were basically trying to transition into our home that we're in here. That I've been about 8 years in. But I mean, it was a struggle. I'm not going to lie. Towards the end of my career, I was taking care of my father because he had Alzheimer's disease. And it was one of those priorities that I wanted to take him as my dependent, and I did. Make a long story short, he passed away. I was working different type of jobs, and then I decided to go ahead and start using my GI Bill, which I did. I maxed out on my 9/11 GI Bill. Got an IT degree with Kaiser University. I'm working with a bachelor's degree that I'm finishing up right now with WGU, and I'm also planning on trying to get a DevOps or a cloud, because I noticed just looking at the job market, it seems like cloud and DevOps are the biggest ones. So I'm trying to look at that. But in the process, I've been trying to apply for jobs with no availability. I put in all the information that I need to, even to work for free, because I know internships work fantastic to put on that resume to show, the things that you need as far as experience. Because that's what I run into. I noticed that, yeah, you can put in a degree. They say, okay, we got 20 years of experience, mainly in customer services. That's a good soft skill, because you can have IT, but you cannot deal with customers at all. Yeah, you just don't have the attitude or charisma to talk to folks. And I do. That's what I did. Give briefings and get up in front of people and talk. So that's kind of, what my forte is. But I have invested a lot of time and money in the cybersecurity field. And I was trying to at least try to get in my foot wet in the actual, internships or maybe help desk, somewhere to start. Because you can't really sit here and get this degree and you get sold this dream that, oh, well, you can make 70,000, 80,000 on this job, but that it's not really exactly like that, because you won't get to that type of cap of money until you actually get, your actual experience. So that's what I'm looking for right now is experience. Work will be fantastic because it's not just for me for self gratification. I have my wife and I have my 4 kids that I have to maintain in this house. So that's one of the big things. It's not like something that I want to do to go ahead and put a certificate on the wall and call it a day. I'm definitely actively looking, but yeah, just like everybody else, I know that cybersecurity is very saturated with people, but very hard to try to get a job or even work for free internship. I thought that was amazingly different, but here I am trying to do the best I can and build my network to actually get that power, get that folks that are helping folks to try to get into the career field. But that's all I have, because I don't want to take the floor too long, and I appreciate everybody's time.
No,
Thank you.
No, you're so welcome. We appreciate you too. I want to let my colleague Jasmine speak here in just a minute if she can. I just want to say thank you so much for your service and what a great thing you did for your dad to take care of him until he passed. And I can hear the frustration, yes, but also just the passion in your voice to, you're trying to take care of your family. You need an income. And I so hear you in terms of like, I've done the degree thing. I got it. I've got all this experience in the military. I've got no experience in cybersecurity and nobody's taken a chance on me. How do I get my foot in the door? Jasmine, how many times have we had this conversation with a veteran or a military spouse?
I feel like I at least have this conversation once a day. And I think part of Corey said it before he hopped off with just talking about re-level setting people's expectations, because it's not an unheard of expectation for you to make $70,000 or $80,000 a year with your cybersecurity degree. The biggest understanding is your resume set up to show the skills that you used before you had any type of expertise in IT to meet the soft skills that they need for other things, and thinking outside the box. Maybe it's that you come in as a desktop engineer and understand what the cybersecurity or security app dev area is in the company that you work for. Are we open to taking a step back? I know for me, it was difficult when I transitioned because when I got out, I stayed at home with my kids for the first year and a half and didn't work. I had a degree. I was a company commander when I got out, and now it was 3-1 dash the last four of my husband's social, and I didn't know what to do with that. I didn't know how to be. I was like, I just need to do everything. And a really long in the tooth, as she puts it, military spouse sat me down and she said, here's the two things that you have to know in order for you to be successful once you're done is how does what I do impact my life every single day, right? And then secondly, am I here for the money or am I here for the experience? Every single thing different way. And if you can know the answer to those questions as you're moving forward, it does help you go, right now, this is a paycheck. This isn't every Friday I have to put food on the table. But my long-term goal is this, and what am I doing to incrementally put myself towards that success every single day? So would love to help you with that, Jose. We could definitely bridge the gap between you having understanding of cybersecurity and then also taking your customer service and your people skills and making that work inside of organizations, because a lot of cybersecurity people have no people skills, and a lot of people with people skills have no idea how to do anything in cybersecurity. So we can help bridge that gap and get you somewhere in the middle.
That's good, man. And I'm very flexible because, I'm retired and I'm also service connected. So in theory, there's hidden money that I get. So I don't ask for like 70,000. That's realistic. But 50K will give me to 100K. So I have no problem with that. It's basically growing with a company, which I'm blessed to work with, hopefully, and then making something happen. I know I'm older. I'm 49, so I don't know if that's was blackballing me. I have no idea. But I know sometimes when you're older, you're like, they probably just passing me by because I'm too old. They're looking, oh, this guy's born in 1976. Yeah, he's
Hey, I was born in 77. Are you calling me old, Jose?
Oh no, oh no, you can look
50 and 30, sir. Yes. You're just gonna have to be okay that a little gray hair goes a long way. All right.
Oh
so
yeah. Yes,
it is fine because our patience is longer. And here's the thing that you guys always have to remember as veterans and as military spouses, and what we can do that other people don't. One, we can show up to work every day, rain, sleet, shine, snow, whatever. We've done it. We've been key essential personnel. We've done that. Two, most of us can always pass a drug screen and a background check. That is not saying that that is all of our civilian counterparts that can do those two things. So those are big things that put you to the top, is that you can show up every day and you know how to take orders, and you don't have to take it from somebody that's smarter than you. And those are what things that we bring as soft skills that you don't think about. But there are good idea fairies in the civilian world, just like there were good idea fairies in the Army world or in the Navy world. And so you have to learn to take direction and work in the best path that is going to make you the most successful. But we can definitely help with that. So make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn.
Yes, man. I connected before you even put it up there. I looked it up. I'm sorry.
Love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. That's a
I
blessing, man. I appreciate everybody's time too.
Thank you for chatting with us. Anthony, I've seen that the time is ticking. I'm going to turn it back over to you, but thank you for the invitation to be here today. It's been a pleasure to be with you and to be with all of your students.
Yes, well, thank you guys for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I think we all received a lot of great information and great direction on how we can connect with the Adecco Group. Just a reminder, everyone, this session was recorded. I will be sending out the session along with the PowerPoint and contact information. So if you would like to touch base with the recruiters or connect with Adecco, you'll have that information here in the next 24 to 48 hours. But thank you again for joining us. Michelle, Jasmine, Corey, Kelsey, it was a pleasure having you guys. And thank you everyone for joining us today, and have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.